I'm with Alberto Morales, Executive Chairman and Founder of Andean Precious Metals, who are, of course, exploring and producing silver throughout Bolivia in the San Bartolomé project. Alberto, thanks for joining me and speaking with Assay TV.
A pleasure, Adam. Pleasure to be here with you.
Why should investors be interested in your stock?
Well, thank you. As you can see, we have been able to navigate the waters in Bolivia for almost 5 years. We have been producing on an asset that was built by my predecessor company where we purchased the asset from. It's an asset that's been in commercial production since 2008, averaging uninterruptedly 5 to 5.5 million ounces of silver equivalent per year. Now we've been operating for 5 years. Our company has about $100 million of cash in the checkbooks, between cash and cash equivalents, all coming from the operations. But what we have built it now is a platform for growth. We have a cash flow producing asset that we intend to keep. We are investing organically in extending its life of mine. We intend to keep the cash generations under this facility so that it can be organically growth in country in Bolivia. We are comfortable investing and continue to invest in Bolivia, but also grow to a mid-tier producer.
Focusing on Bolivia, though, I just want to touch on how it is as an operating environment. You've obviously been there a long time.
For the past 14 years, Bolivia entered into a socialist government, and there was some nationalization which actually scared foreign investors coming in those days. Now, today, it's an economy that is well aware of the needs for foreign investments. They are motivated toward fostering foreign investment. They're actually looking for more foreign investments into the country. So I would say that, all in all, it is mostly perhaps the lack of knowledge of the jurisdiction, because there was a gap of about 12 to 14 years where nothing really exciting happened in the sense of large transactions, whereas attention was focused in Latin America elsewhere, Chile, Brazil, Mexico, Peru, and even other jurisdictions throughout these years.
What's your strategy for this capital allocation?
Okay. First of all, on the capital allocation, the way we intend to use the cash is to growing our oxides processing plant, growing the sources by which we would be feeding the mill and the plant and the processing plant. So that is definitely, we're seeking private sources as well as government, new mining rights from the government. So that's taking its trend. In the acquisition side, we're looking at some projects internal in Bolivia. We also have a gold exploration project that we own 100%, and we have reached a porphyry there in Bolivia, so we intend to continue under those fronts. So part of the CapEx and the investments that we're envisioning is growth within the country, but also by the same token, by using and leveraging on that solid platforms that we've got, which is a cash generating platform. We would like to also engage into looking assets in other jurisdictions like Mexico. It's my hometown. I'm actually Mexican national, born and bred in Monterrey. We feel comfortable navigating the waters, the culture, because of our similarity of cultures throughout Latin America and in Mexico.
And Mexico is famed for silver discoveries and silver production.
It's the largest silver producer in the world after Peru, which is another jurisdiction that it has its challenges, but we're also looking into it.
Excellent. What does an ideal acquisition look like within the jurisdictions you mentioned? Sure.
We're looking primarily into the precious metal space, although if an asset comes into what we believe may be a risk allocation basis on a commodity that we believe it may become scarce as we go along in the future, i.e. copper, i.e. tin, which is a play we're actually looking in Bolivia. If you look, we found tin on our tailings dam, on our FDF and DSF. we're also looking at some assets. Primarily, we're looking to cash flow producing assets.
Okay,
Or,
so quite-
or assets that, because being on a cash flow producing basis right now under current market conditions, I'm thankful that we have a solid balance sheet, but some of our peers may need access to a stronger balance sheet in order to finalize a construction project or to finalize something, which is pretty close to actually generating cash.
How about organic growth, putting dollars into the ground and looking at other exploration as well? Is that very much part of the strategy?
I would say that it is not our primary preference if we were to be looking at purely exploration plays. It is always good to bank reserves in the balance sheet. However, our preference is to look, to the extent that we can find them, assets that are cash flow generating or very close to generate cash flow, because that's where we believe we can be more accretive to our investors and shareholders.
Yep, certainly. Excellent. Well, wonderful stuff, Alberto. It's really good to get insight on the strategy in the company and the fairly healthy position you're in and the ambitions to go and scale that. And we look forward to helping project that to the industry as we go throughout the year. So thanks for speaking with Assay TV.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here with you.